Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Rimworld. We're here with the Alpha 7 update, or as it has become to be known as, the Things Made of Stuff update or whatever, with good name too, or with good reason too, I should say, because a lot of what this update has to do with is just more stuff being added to the game and more stuff that you're allowed to do with that stuff. So let's go ahead and end up creating another world first, I believe? I actually totally forgot about that whole thing. I think we could just jump straight into New Colony. As usual, we're gonna do Cassandra Classic, Challenge Mode. Maybe we'll go back to Randy Random eventually, but as long as there's these new updates coming out, we're going to avoid him just because it makes much more sense to kind of do the others. Formal matter. I don't know what's up with that. We'll just select that world. That world would be perfectly fine. And we're going to go ahead and, first off, go ahead and check out the new biome. And, this time, unlike before, let's go ahead and try to put ourselves somewhat into the mainland. Like, if we check out the map like this, this might be a good spot. Plop ourselves, like, right in the middle of all these mountains. Like I said, we're more in the mainland. If we wanted to diversify it a bit more, we could do, like, over there, but let's go, like, right about there. That might be a good enough spot for that. So yeah, that's one of the main big things that's been added. The tropical rainforest, biome. Of course, it was there before, you just couldn't play it before, besides that, of course, there's also been, like, new creatures and animals added to this version of the game, and affecting all biomes, once more, like new animals would. There's also now diseases and stuff like that, and that's gotta be the scary thing about the tropical rainforest, because it's very, as one would imagine, especially compared to, like, the desert, the tropical rainforest is a very, disease-heavy and intensive place, so we're gonna be dealing with a lot of new issues that we've never even encountered before in the entire series so far. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. We still also have another one to check out later on. What if we went to the desert last time? I think we did. I don't know. I don't remember what the other place we have to go to is. No, we were in a really foresty area. We didn't do the desert, so that's the other place that we have to try. But since this one's brand new, we're gonna go ahead and go to this place. Select. Is that, do I go to advanced? Maybe it just wasn't registering the site? It's tropical rainforest, that's the new place, right? Or maybe it's just temperate forest, and maybe I'm a complete idiot. Yeah, this would be a good thing for me to have written it down. I thought I wrote down the place. Here, I apologize, guys. I'm just gonna look over my notes. Yeah, tropical rainforest biome has been added. Why can't we go to this place? Unless it's that, like, my screen regions are messed up, but I believe you do select site. Here, let's actually go ahead and test the desert then. If we click here and then select site, it still doesn't appear to work for whatever reason. Okay. I don't know what's up with that. Let's go ahead and delete this map. We're gonna go ahead and actually go back and create our own. In the meantime, let's just make it Egg once again. That'll be a perfectly fine name for a place. And actually a pretty okay looking world, if I do say so myself. What's that red thing down there? That looks a little bit, frightening. Tundra biome not implemented. Is that what that red dot is about? That can't be what that red dot is about. Faction base? Oh my god, so is that where an enemy actually lives? I really want to go there then. That sounds really cool. Whatever, apparently we can't do that because that's a place that obviously has been added to the game before. So let's save and finish. New colony. Select you, go to this place now. And then can we select site? Yes, we can. Oh my god, okay. I don't know why that didn't work originally. And I apologize because I didn't mean to accidentally select twice. Select OK twice there. But we're actually going to go back to the main menu once again, and we're going to load in via that thing. That must have been a glitch. Of course, this patch did just come out fairly recently, so there may be some glitches in the game and stuff like that. Because we couldn't access any biome. I don't know, might have been my fault. Maybe I'm a complete idiot, but good. We're actually here with these people now, so we'll actually be able to change the names of our people. I'll go ahead and actually do this in the background while I talk about additional things, because, of course, these additional names that people have requested for themselves being added into the colony is very important and awesome and all, but I'll get to that later, because right now we are talking about the patch notes. So yeah, yeah, one of the other big change, one of the other big changes that's been added to the game, as of now, is actually, well, maybe we should talk about all these people, because I want to pick people who are good. I'm so torn right now. Okay, whatever, we're gonna talk about people. Balluno, my good friend, is gonna be added to the colony. Since I already wrote the name for this guy, I guess we'll just stick with this, whatever. This person isn't good, we'll just deal with it. Person seems okay. Construction passion, mining passion, and social. Social will be a really good thing. So the main things we'd want now is growing. We need someone who does research. Someone who has shooting capabilities would be nice. And then medicine, actually, from the last patch, I would say doesn't seem to be incredibly critical. But this person actually looks really good. Incapable of scary, so they can't put out fires. But that's actually perfectly fine. Physically sensitive, that's, oh, no. Psychically sensitive, that's interesting. So that's probably bad, whenever those psychic events happens, because that's probably gonna drive, Balluno insane, but, you know, that'll be perfectly fine. Physically deaf. Sun's mind works on a, psychic frequency, or psychically deaf. Every time you don't see the word psychically a lot. That's weird. I see that, and my mind just reads physically. Oh, shoot! So the sensitivity is -100? That's really good! Then we also have green thumb. Everything he plants grows, so that'll be super good. So let's go ahead and make that, especially since actually, yeah, it was Daniel! Daniel was, Super Daniel, the one who requested, to be added, as a male, as opposed to a female. So we'll just do Super, Duper will be the last name, and then it will be Daniel, of course. Spelled that right? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. So that'll be Daniel set up, and then we just have one other person who is going to end up being Siggy. Super cool, fan of the, I mean, friend of the stream, since Siggy shows up to the stream a lot. Sigurdur, and probably butchered that pronunciation, and I apologize for that. Really, all that really matters is the nickname, so maybe I should just change those, but, you know, I want to be able to do that as well. And why did I do that first? Oh my god, okay, if this is a person that we don't want, and it really isn't, we're just gonna change Siggy's nickname, because that's all that really matters. Like I said before, what would be nice at this point would be medicine and shooting, for sure. And this person does have a shooting passion and medicine. Incapable of research and artistic, and a green thumb as well, so that's nice. Yeah, I think that'll be good for Siggy. That should be a good start for us. Obviously 6, even with a passion, isn't all that good, but, you know, it'll be fine for starters. So that's our squad! That's gonna be our amazing crew of people. Now let's get back to the patch updates and stuff like that. So one of the big things that's been changed is a lot of additional medical stuff as well. And a lot of that has to do with, oh shoot. Steam guys are right where we're landing. That might be cool. But now, an additional addition to the game is the fact that there's actually, like, artificial limbs and prosthetics, and, and with that, there's also the thing that I was really, really excited for, which is kind of, from what I understand, like, implants and upgrades that you can actually give to your people, basically similar to artificial limbs, but even better. Like, you could give them eyes that actually, artificial eyes that actually work better than the normal eye does, so their vision will actually be enhanced, which should, of course, mean that there'll be better shots and stuff like that. I don't know if sight goes into anything other than shooting. I mean, probably it also affects work and stuff like that, because you can't really work if you can't see. obviously. But then also the trade system was changed, which is another thing that I'm going to be really excited, because now apparently traders basically sell anything your people can carry. Buy and sell anything your people can carry. Even if you get really, really lucky, even though this will be very expensive, they can even sell the AI persona core. So if you don't want to fight all the mechanoids and stuff like that when that alien spaceship finally crashes, you could actually theoretically just avoid it completely and deal with end up buying one of those things if you get lucky to have the cash and resources and have a trader actually come to try to sell it to you. But anyways, one of the big things that I should talk about before we actually continue time is the map changes. Obviously, as I mentioned before, this is new biome, new area. There's grass here, but it's very, very thick grass, so actually all of the movement on this grass will be slower. Yeah, as you can see here, the walk speed is 87 on that area, while on like the basic rough ground, it's 93. So the thing that sucks about this biome in regards to that is that, oh god, Marsh is a 36% walk speed. That's pretty awful. But it's gonna be an area where if we want to move fast, like Sonic, you gotta move fast. What we're going to want to do is we're definitely going to want to build a lot of our own floorings, like tile floor or something like that with stone or something. We have a lot of steam geysers around the area. I think we'll probably end up starting looking at everything right now, just in home base, because then we could kind of mine into this mountainside. Yeah, there's some metal ore right there. Is that really what metal ore looks like right now? I wish it was still, like, yellow. They probably replaced the metal ore thing with gold, though, because it would make a lot of sense. But that's the other thing that I gotta talk about. As I mentioned, there's new animal life as well, like there's cobras, new trees, there's some it's a monkey! That was a horrible impersonation of, King Koopa from the Super Mario Brothers movie. But also, there's been a lot of new minerals added to the game. Like, as you can see, that's still metal. Is this something new? Yeah, it's slate. Okay, so I think slate is a new type of rock. Oh, and that's limestone. I thought that was just gonna be the common mountainside. Maybe slate is the common mountainside? I'm not sure, because it looks like if slate is just... If slate isn't basic rock... And I'm pretty sure slate isn't. I think slate is actually a material you could use. It might be actually the point where you could use entire mountain pieces as resources. Like let's see, is this actually... Yeah, that's still called rock chunks, so those aren't pieces of slate. So yeah, that'd be really cool if actually, unlike previously, where before, there's a lot of limestone around too. I'm trying to scan quickly to see if there's any, other resources scattered around. And I do apologize, if anyone is being like, oh, this is taking so long, it's going so slow, but as is the way of all of the, first update videos, or first videos that I do whenever there's a new update, I always like to take it kind of slow, so I could discuss all the new things, and especially in in an update like this, where there's been a lot of changes to the map itself, it's something I kind of want to keep my eye on. So, are these new animals? Oh my god, what are those? Oh god, wild boars? Oh, I could see those things be kind of freaky deaky. It's a forest. I would hope that this biome would have the turtles, because I know there are turtles added, but I haven't seen any so far, so unfortunately that might not be the case. I want a turtle! I want to be turtly enough for the turtle club and get turtles in my life. I don't know. Honestly, just the fact that I made that reference alone is probably like the biggest shame I could hold to my heart. So, wow, metal research table. So the research table is actually different now, and apparently you can make it out of wood, despite the fact that it's called metal research table. That's kind of funny. I don't know what that means, that you require at least 19 metal to make it. Maybe that's what it means, I don't know. But anyways, that's a good thing to actually talk about next. The whole crafting, as part of the new resources that are added to the game, in fact, let's actually go ahead and start off. Of course, I'll sit down to build the geothermal generator, because we need that thing going ASAP. So we'll build that right there. But then also, in addition to that, let's actually set up some orders and start mining out this piece right here, because then we can get some limestone and get in at that slate and see exactly what slate actually is like in this game. And in addition to that, we could probably start going for the metal that's actually in there. But yeah, so actually things are crafted differently now. Apparently the geothermal generator just still takes metal. Does the battery? No, the battery isn't different. Maybe I guess all of those are the same. So furniture would be a really good example of this. A metal stool, once again, that we can make out of wood. That's Tynian should probably change these to just being called bed, royal bed, and stool then. And with all these, because you can make them out of wood. So is it a metal stool made of wood? That doesn't really make any sense. But whatever, I'm sure that's something that'll be changed or messed with in the future. But yeah, as you can see with here, you can actually make resources out of silver now, which I think is kind of crazy. It makes a lot of sense, because silver obviously is like a metal, so you can, you should be able to do that kind of thing. Probably not the best though, since it is what you use. It is still the currency in this game. There is gold now. I don't know if gold is a currency. I imagine it's not. I think it's just a basic resource once again, and a very, very expensive one and hard to get one. But I don't know if that'll also be added as like a currency later on, because I find it kind of silly that silver would be a currency and gold isn't. But technically, I guess everything is kind of a currency in its own right, now that silver can actually also be used as a building resource. But yeah, basically the point I'm getting at here is that with various different items in the game, you can actually select what you want to build them out of, which is very cool, because then, you know, it allows for more customization, and that's one of my favorite aspects of this game. The more customization that's added into it, the better, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and start marking all these things for pickup. Of course, as before, the Lee Enfield will go to our worst shot on the squad, unfortunately. I kind of just really hate the Lee Enfield. I remember a while ago, I used to really, really like the Lee Enfield. I thought it was a pretty good weapon, but as more and more time has gone on, oh god, I'm sorry. I had no idea. Balluno here, he's a really close friend of mine, and I had no idea when I was making this character. Number one, I actually didn't notice that it was a woman, and of course there's nothing wrong with that. But my friend Balluno, we like to joke around and tease him, because he's definitely like the most like built out of any of my friends. Like he's definitely without a doubt the most fit of like my close friends from back home. So I find it kind of really funny that his character is like a pretty heavy-set woman when he is in fact a very, very slim man. I don't know why, that just seems really funny to me. Also the skin tone is pretty accurate for him. He's like mixed, so I think he's a little bit whiter than that character is, but it's pretty fitting skin color. But anyways, that is completely irrelevant. So now also in regards to trading and stuff like that, like I was mentioning before, another thing that is actually added to the game. Who's our best doctor? We have 2 6s? Oh, that is awesome. Do they both have a passion for it too? Or is, because I know one of them had a passion. No, it's just Siggy, so Siggy's going to be our doctor, which is obviously why I instantly take him off of that for whatever stupid reason. So that probably means that Daniel was the warden, if I'm correct. If Daniel's also the best cook, we'll probably leave him at that. Like we didn't even start cooking in the last colony, I'm pretty sure we won't get to cooking anytime soon with this one, unfortunately. Growing, who was the person with the main passion? I believe it was just those two, so obviously Balluno's still gonna be the main miner. Then let's actually go ahead and wait on the rest. We'll leave Plankine for those two, crafting for those two. Art can be for Daniel. Everyone's a hauler, everyone's cleaner, and Daniel's the only one who does research. Probably means then that we'll leave Siggy for crafting, even if Daniel is very passionate about it. Mainly because crafting is a task that we like to get done a lot, but it will also help to be able to actually check those things. So Siggy is actually also the better crafter for starters. No one has a passion for it in this group, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Balluno can't even do it, duh. And our main grower is also going to be Daniel. Siggy can also probably do it, but if Siggy does, we'll have Siggy started later. So that should be good for all that, and then we'll set up their priorities, of course. But yeah, as another factor of trade and both the additional things that are added to doctoring and stuff like that in the game currently, you can actually also harvest organs, which I think it's gonna create a really cool, new, interesting dynamic, mainly in regards to not our colony, but, slaves and people that you actually capture and stuff like that, whenever they, like, prisoners that you have, because now they could actually be more valuable than they ever were before if you don't want to bother, recruiting them as additional people, because just think about it, like, you have, repairing can be 4 for everyone right now. But yeah, like I was saying, think about it. If you have prisoners and maybe some of them are the tribes people, they're not going to really be all that worth the work that goes into recruiting them because it takes a million years. Then now, because of the changes, what you actually can do if you want to is you can actually go ahead and get extra use out of them, not just by selling their organs if you want, but by saving those organs so you can help your colonists in case they actually get into like a medical disarray or get hurt, essentially. Like if they lose a kidney or something like that, as just a small example, then you could actually go ahead and it won't be all that bad all in all if you have some random prisoners set up in your place, because hey, they don't need their kidneys. The kidneys being in their bodies ain't gonna help nobody in your colony, so might as well just harvest it right out and make one of our friends' lives better. Obviously, that's pretty diabolical, but, you know, that's the way of Rimworld. So, let's go ahead and set up our geothermal generator room, as we always do. That's gonna be a big old one to set up first. Oh, no! You need to go down a little bit. No! Metal wall. That's gonna take some getting used to, and go away, little notification thing. I apologize about that. What's definitely gonna take some getting used to is not just being able to click things once, but being able to needing to click it twice. Metal conduit wall. Oh no. A wall with a built-in conduit. So an impassable wall capable of holding up a roof. Oh crud. Okay. We're backtracking. We're never using these walls. Those just cost 2 extra? Okay. If we ever use those walls, they're just gonna be, like, for defensive means and stuff like that, because if those walls actually can't, like, transport power, they're kind of really bad, for the most part, at least. Of course, like so many other things in this game, I'm sure there'll be situations where that would be useful, but we're only gonna use, for the most part, we're just gonna use, ones that actually transport power, even if we're not necessarily going to be, sending power, even if it's not necessarily the best thing to send power through all of these walls. That's what I'm gonna do, because it's the best way, at least in my opinion. Is that door set, like, too high? I feel like that door is set way, way too high. So let's actually go ahead and cancel you, and you. And we'll put a door, metal door right there, and then another one right there. I think that's more set in the middle than I had it going previously. And we should probably actually sell that bed so we could actually build a wall right there. That'd be a smart idea. But anyways, so yeah, that's gonna be a cool new change as well. That's the interesting thing about this patch that I'll say right now. As with some of the more recent patches certainly have been, a lot of the changes is stuff that we're going to see like right off the bat really quick, but a hell of a lot of them are also going to take some time. So unfortunately, we're not going to really see what's gonna happen with a lot of this stuff for a while. Alright, looks like slate actually is just the wall, like the mountainside. So unfortunately, we're not gonna get anything from that. Limestone doesn't appear to give us anything. It's just giving us rock chunks. I thought it gave us, like its own specified, like mineral type, but apparently I was wrong about that. I thought limestone was its own unique thing. Game's throwing, tricks at me. It's being like, oh, you think this, Brendan? Well, nope, you're wrong. A pox upon you and your whole family. And I hope you all suffer in a fiery inferno. And it just makes me sad because I want to love the game, but the game just spits in my face with anger and strikes me down with furious anger. It makes me sad. But anyways, back to the thing. As we just saw, the stuff system allows you to build, like, basically anything in this game. At least so many more materials out of, a lot of the other resources. Like, apparently improvised turrets still take metal. So I imagine there's still going to be a lot of stuff that just takes basic metal. In fact, the hopper is also still basic metal. That one's honestly probably the biggest surprise to me. Let's also go, I mean, not the hopper, but yeah, actually the hoppers as well, the nutrient paste dispensary and that. That's actually kind of really interesting that the research bench is now something that can be built out of any material while the hoppers are still basic. Yeah, we could build a wooden pot. That's nice. I might use more of those then, because I haven't really used any of those things for a long while. Sandbags are still just metal. Hopefully at some point there'll actually be like a sand item, because at least to me it doesn't really make a lot of sense that you would make sandbags out of metal. The fact that they're able to survive frickin' explosions does make more sense when they're metal, but not really all in all. Also, there's automated doors. That's one thing that's nice. Just they're faster moving doors that open and close more quickly. And actually, this is a really small update. That's a small detail. Not a small detail, but one that's easy to miss. Actually, pretty much everything, if not everything now, actually has an item description, and the stuff actually does contribute to a lot of things. Like, you could market value. I presume you can't sell walls, so I don't know why this has a market value. But yeah, you get to see its max health. Works to build. I guess that like relates to the stat for the person's like construction ability, like and how fast they'll be able to build it. But you can actually see its flammability now, so you can actually examine things to see how quickly they'll burn. And I guess the market value is more for like items that chill on the floor. But the one that's really big to me is beauty, because that's how that's gonna show based on stats now how surroundings are actually going to like as in walls, and we actually visually have a stat now where we could examine to see how the surrounding area that we've built for our people affects their mental stability and stuff like that. And that's something that I'm really looking forward to being able to use more. Hopefully it's something that I won't forget about, because I think it would be really useful. Like as we were just seeing here with the metal conduit wall, it's got beauty of 0, which means it doesn't give us any negatives, but also it doesn't give us any positives. Can we actually see that with the walls? Really? That's just 0 beauty. I thought that would be like I thought that would be a negative, in all honesty. I presume, yeah, that's pretty much exactly the same. That is very interesting. I honestly don't really understand why that isn't its own thing. But anyways, once the geothermal generator is built, of course, we will get to work on, actually, you know what, let's even get those. Oh god, I clicked off screen, my bad. I will also, let's actually already get those power conduits down. They could short circuit in the rain, and the fact that we're in a rainforest probably makes that a little bit threatening, but you know what, we're just gonna do it that way. We can actually, we're almost done with the wall, so it's one of those things where it shouldn't be too much of a worry for all that. Let's actually go ahead and continue mining into this mountainside here, because the more metal the better, especially seeing as we'll want to use a lot of it before too long, because we've got this geothermal or steam geyser right down there, and this one, which is unbelievably close to the base. There's even one up there! I don't know which one's the best one to go for. I guess it means just however we'll want to shape our base in the future and all that. But yeah, so man, I'm already at like 28 minutes, and there's still a lot to talk about, so let's actually go through this. Luckily, actually, a lot of it I did also talk about before. So there are multiple types of stone now, like I mentioned before. I believe there is more than this, but I may be wrong, but the ones that I marked down of relevance were sandstone, granite or granite, marble, slate, and limestone. There's also golds that you can mine, and silver. I don't think I mentioned that before. I think I forgot to mention that you actually can find and mine out silver from mountainsides now. So now it's no longer the point where before, where the only way to get money was to either have it airdropped or through like trade and stuff like that. So that's a cool difference as well, especially now that silver actually is a valuable material in the game. So it just makes it make even more sense. Let's go ahead and start working on wooden walls for our kitchen, because we definitely want to get the kitchen closed off, so we won't have to worry about that in the future. And then we could go ahead and do some wooden doors as well. as well. Is that parallel? Yeah, that's parallel. Gonna look a little bit weird, being a little bit lower than high, but you know, that's perfectly okay. Also, I don't know, but that sounds like a weird thing to me. Better low than high. Sounds like something a weird drug addict would... It's like something a drug addict who's in rehab would say about... Like he's feeling down. Oh! So it actually... That's why it says metal. Okay, I should apologize to Tynan now, because actually, apparently those change. So that was just me being a little bit ignorant on something that I wasn't aware of at first. So I guess it just changes visually? Yeah, it just changes visually to whatever you have it set up to. That's... And of course the name changes as well. That's really cool. I guess that's meant to be so you actually can just select... No, that's weird. That's weird. The thing that makes it weird to me, I still think these should just be changed to door, like wood door, automatic door, wall, conduit wall, simply because of the fact that with the way it's set up like this, it gives me the impression that if I just click it once, since I used wooden doors before, it's like locked on wooden doors, so I'll be able to put them down for good. But the thing is, like, here's why that's weird to me. If we wanted to use a bunch of wooden doors, and now we're looking at it now, and we're like, okay, cool, wooden doors is set up, so the next time I want to use wooden doors, it'll be set up that way. So now if I go to, swap to wooden walls, I could do that again, and then it makes me think that if I just purely click that, it'll go back to the wooden, just like, let me select the wooden door, but no, I actually have to click that, pull up this tab, and then go to wood again. I don't know if it works that way if I just select P. Nope, still brings up that tab. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know if I like that change. I'm probably just not used to it. Kind of feel like it should just be door, automatic door, wall, conduit wall. But that's a nitpick for sure. Let's go ahead and add some wooden floors in this room. Hopefully we'll get those. Actually, you know what? Let's even actually cancel the nutrient paste dispenser, because I'd rather get that flooring down before we actually finish that. So, in addition to the minerals that actually, the new types of stone that are in the game, there's also new types of mineable material, as I mentioned before. So now there's metal, silver, gold, and pastel. I don't know what pastel would be used for. Pastel, isn't that like kind of like an arts and crafts kind of material? So, I don't know if that would be good for the crafting ability. Also now you can actually, harvest leather from animals, so now animals don't just give you meat, they could also give you leather and stuff like that. I don't know if all animals do, because monkeys shouldn't give you leather. Boars might give us something like that? I don't know much about boars. Who knows, maybe there's some way to get leather from monkeys, but I don't really know anything about that kind of thing, so who knows? It might be one of those things where, honestly, it's just getting minerals from animals, and it doesn't really matter what animal you kill, you'll just get it regardless. At least for the time being. Maybe that is what it is, maybe that's wrong. Oh, we can't put that there because there's a freaking rock right there! Okay, well, looks like we're gonna have to create a temporary hauling zone for that then. Oh, no, I don't want to select ones to be hauled, that's my bad. Well, while I do this, I could go ahead and talk about additional things. Also, and so that leather can then be used to actually create new articles of clothing and stuff like that, which I think is gonna be really cool. Especially since clothing can be sold now, which honestly, actually, just that alone is one of my favorite things about this new patch. I hated it, how much clothing built up in the past, because eventually it just got to the point where the map was like covered with clothing, and it was just a huge irritation. Let's just put chunks and chunks alone in there just so we could get them out of the way. There was that. Why am I totally blanking today? I don't know what's up with my mind. Oh yeah, but also you can actually, use cotton for plants now, so you can actually then also use that cotton to create into like fabric clothing as well, or cotton clothing, which I think is also a cool new thing. I don't know if anyone else needs clothing right now. Looks like everyone at least has a shirt and synthetic pants. I didn't know pants were in the game now too. So maybe if we could probably, it might be smart to get some leather and then fashion those into a jacket or something. I don't know if cotton can be used for like a coat or something, but you know, leather jackets are cooler anyways. There's also space tech clothing that has been added to the game. So what I think that is it's just basic clothing, like t-shirts and pants now, that are going to be much more upgraded versions than ones that have been seen previously. And then, one thing that has been reworked is damage reflection per type of clothing, so I'm not entirely sure how that change is going to affect things, but of course now different types of clothing will, deflect armor in either more or less significant ways than it has, in the past. So we do actually got some metal landing in, or we have some metal landing in, so that's gonna be good for us. Let's go ahead and start, also marking up slag to be hauled over. I hope that our people won't haul that immediately. Obviously we do have that chunk, storage thing, so they might end up doing that. It won't be the worst thing in the world if they do that. Visiting the colony, yada yada, don't really care about you. For people who are visiting the colony, and of course, for other methods as well, we actually can lock the doors now. So if we're gonna be a big old negative Nancy about things and be like, hey, person who's visiting the colony, don't invade my private space, we could actually go ahead and lock the doors. That's also going to be useful in case you don't want people to just meander outside when there's either more important jobs indoors for them to do, or, as I will probably use it the most, lock doors when there are people who have, like, very low mental stats. What I would prefer to see, rather than locking doors ability, the locking door ability, and hopefully this will be something that'll change later on, is if you're doing something, if Tainan is adding something that makes sure that people can't go to certain areas, I would much rather see it where there was like an extra tab on the person, which was like space that they can occupy. Kind of like, why'd I open up the overview? That's not what I want to. Kind of like an additional home zone tab. Just make it specific to individual people and that they won't ever go outside that zone. Unless maybe they can when they're drafted or something. Because I actually think that would be a really, really nice way to handle things, because then the people won't go meandering in areas that you don't want them to, doing stupid things, gain their mental rate, lowered, when they could actually be perfectly fine working in other areas. So that's just a small idea that I had, one that I think would actually be pretty cool and work out rather nicely. Some animals and mechanoids now actually have natural armor as well. I would imagine the monkeys wouldn't have it, but let's actually check the wild boar. Race problem. Actually, is it in there? Meats, diets, yada yada yada. I don't think that's it. Looks like this guy probably doesn't have any natural armor, but next time we see an animal that might, we'll have to go ahead and check that. Tropical rainforest was added, of course, like I mentioned, and it is very disease-ridden and choking in regards to not being able to move much on the grass. Okay, so I haven't talked about disease much. I did mention it with this area, but I will just say it once more and more specifically. How disease is healed, that's once again another medical thing. I believe it just uses the medicine, and you want to get people treated for that. Obviously, there's some diseases that are more dangerous earlier rather than later, and some diseases just continue to grow over time and get more dangerous over time. Some of them, like, oh yeah, here's operations as well. That's where you could see for installing things on a person, like a peg leg, or dentures apparently, or like harvesting someone's liver and something like that. Euthanized, interesting. What? He has an old gunshot? That better not do anything to him. Pain little. Okay. That's permanent. That didn't happen when we were here, right? This must be like a scar that he had in a previous life. Siggy, who shot you? Why are you in little pain as well? Stab, scar, torso. Why do two of our people have injuries? That's weird, especially a gunshot wound. I don't know what's up with that. Whatever, we're past the 35-minute mark, so honestly, I think we're actually just gonna pause the game here so I can focus entirely on the updates and continue talking about them. But yeah, diseases are linked to biomes, like I said earlier. Tropical rainforest is going to be one where we should be seeing diseases occurring a lot. Some of them are also related to age now. I don't know if characters will eventually die from age. Of course, that should take a very, very long time in regards to gameplay. But now the older your character gets, they might get negatives like a bad back trait in their traits and stuff like that. Because I believe bad back isn't something that can be healed. I believe it's specifically put into trait. So that's gonna be an interesting thing. I'm pretty sure all of our people, 44 is getting there, and 57! Oh man, we actually might see some of that bad back stuff occur with some of our people. Diseases that occur, I believe there's more of them than this as well, but there's the flu, the plague, malaria, sleeping sickness. I honestly have never even heard of sleeping sickness. Is that just like something where when you're sleeping, your body acts out in like bad ways? Because I'd be apparently it's a very, very dangerous one in this game, and because of that I expect in real life. So I really should do some research on it my own, and I'll try to do that. But if any of you know what sleeping sickness is, I would find that very, very interesting if you could educate me a little. And I'd really, really appreciate it as well. Chronic condition, yeah, like I said, there's chronic conditions, which are age-related, which is, like cataracts and bad back. New traits are added to it, like Brawler, and a bunch of others. Traders carry and buy any items. Neurotrainers, neurotrainers are something that's gonna be really cool. I don't know if is there actually like a thing for it in production? It may be research if I were to levy a guess. Let's see. Is neural trainers in here? Hospital bed is now research? Oh no, that's scary. Looks like they actually changed the numbers? Yeah! That is nice. Honestly, I actually prefer the numbers being much smaller because I think it makes it a lot more visually simple how long something's gonna take rather than being like 2,000 and stuff like that. I like that small change. But yeah, let's see. Is neural trainers in here? I don't think I saw it. Oh, tailoring is something that we need to research, so we'll probably work on that. Yeah, I don't see neural trainers in there at all, so I don't know if it's something that we build or buy, but that's one thing that I'm also really, really excited about, because apparently it's like Matrix-esque trainers that instantly make you learn the skill, i.e., I know Kung Fu, or whatever Neo says. Like I said, there's lockable doors, and last but not least, at least of the big stuff, there are now melee weapons added to the game, which of course are going to be very, very effective, close range. There's stuff like clubs, knives, spears, shivs, and short swords. So I actually would not be surprised if those short swords could kill a man in like 2 hits, but obviously, as far as the melee weapons go, I would have to guess that the short sword is going to be a later game melee weapon. And then on top of that, really, for that later game period, I don't know how effective melee weapons are going to be, because it's one of those things where oftentimes I'm sure all of our people will be gunned down before they could get close enough. But it's going to be a new change to gameplay, and who knows? Maybe we could do a thing with our death corridor where, like let's say there was a door right here and the dudes are trying to break in, but I have like 5 guys here with short swords, and the minute they break down the door, I just bum rush them and cut them all to smithereens. Maybe that'll be a viable strategy. I have no idea. It's something that we'll have to go ahead and check in the future. So, yeah, this video is gonna be an extra long one. Obviously, it's already been an extra long one, about an extra 10 minutes. But I think that's all that we've, I think that covers all of the big main stuff in the patch. I don't believe I missed anything. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late on the get-go with this one. I've been really busy lately, so I apologize I didn't get this first video for this update up earlier. But, yeah, there's certainly gonna be a lot more Rimworlds coming out now since the new patch has happened. And as always, with each new patch that happens, I really want to continue playing it a lot. So, never know when the next one will come out. I don't think it will come out tomorrow, but probably the day after, and then we might get a couple of Rimworld days in a row. I usually don't like to do multiple videos. Like, I usually don't like to play the same game, like, 2 days in a row, but, you know, sometimes that happens. I'm just rambling at this point anyways. So anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and or subscribing if you have not. I am the EggScrambledGamer, and I will see you all next time!